addressing one of the main key factor is all these hormones. There's so many hormones within us and how to keep them on track and just addressing them, not putting them on the sidetrack, but shining the light on to understand it. My name is Yan Q Hua. I'm the founder of Art of Wellness Health Healing, and I am a holistic health professional, integrative nutritionist, and transformational coach. And I've been in practice for over 25 years and practicing privately, having my wellness practice for 17 years and bringing a lot of holistic knowledges to my communities. So thank you for joining me here. Hormone reset is the key to unlocking metabolic health, fat loss, and longevity. Why hormones control metabolism and fat storage, how to reset your metabolism and hormones naturally, and the real cause of stubborn fat and plateau. And I'm going to go deep dive into each section to help you understand it. And again, we only have about an hour, and so we only be able to touch base. Again, it's still an overview, and if you want to learn more in depth, please, set up an appointment with me to discuss how is it personally related to you. So here's the health crises we're facing. Over 80% of adults have poor metabolic health. That's a large number. Hormone imbalance contributes to fatigue, weight gain, and brain fog. Chronic disease is appearing earlier than ever before because of these issues. The root issues: poor lifestyle choices, emotional management issue, nutrient deficiency that lead to metabolic dysfunction driven by hormonal imbalance. Your body is the master regulator. So not medication, not drugs. It's how to respect your body's main function and help your body. Your body controls, helps these hormones help with metabolism, fat storage, fat burning, appetite cravings, mood and brain function, sleep and recovery, aging and longevity. So when the hormones are balanced, things are working more naturally, and it's easier to maintain healthy weight and improve your energy. And some of the key ones, there's so many hormones, but we're going to talk about the key ones that's related to fat storage. So insulin, it's a hormone. It regulates your blood sugar and fat storage. Cortisol is a stress hormone linked to belly fat. And thyroid hormones control metabolic rate. Leptin hormone signals fullness, and ghrelin signals hunger. And sex hormone, estrogen, testosterone influence how your body build muscle mass and burn and storage. So signs that your hormones need reset. If you're constantly feeling tired and you feel like you're either gaining weight or not losing despite eating healthy, and you feel like, well, how come most of the weight gain is in my belly? And I don't really have an appetite, but I'm craving for sugar. You have brain fog. You just can't think about even what you ate yesterday. Poor sleep and slow metabolism. You ate this morning and then by dinner time, you're not really that hungry. That's slow metabolism. These symptoms often reflect metabolic imbalance. Your belly fat is very different than other part of the fat in the other part of your body. Excessive belly fat is associated with insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, higher cortisol levels, and increased risk of diabetes and heart disease. So reducing belly fat, of course, improves overall metabolic health. So when people said to me, I want to look better, I want to fit in my clothes, I want to look, attractive, I don't want the belly fat. And when I'm thinking about that, I'm not thinking about I want, yes, I want you to look good, but what I'm thinking about is the insulin resistance, the what's going on. And so, of course, for me, from a medical and health perspective, reducing belly fat is really important to balance, improve your insulin sensitivity and decrease your inflammation, right? And I want to address your stress level looking at your body composition. And so you look at the top, the diagram, the picture, healthy cell function, the insulin sensitivity means the insulin is able to flow in, and the hormone insulin to be able to help your body uh, transport the sugar and into your tissues, different cells, different your muscle to use. And so when you're blocking the insulin from coming into the cell, then we cannot utilize the sugar, and so you're tired. Your brain does need sugar, for example. Your liver needs sugar. So you're there. It's not that you're not. It's not like you're eating too much sugar per se, but they're not being distributed properly. And that's the problem. So it's not about eating how much sugar, not enough. It's the transport itself. So visceral versus subcutaneous fats. So subcutaneous fats are stored under the skin. It's not metabolically driven usually. It's more like, are you eating too much? That's when we talk about even in healthy foods. Later I'm going to talk a little bit more about calorie. So even the healthy food, you're eating a really great meal, but you don't want to stuff yourself 100%. And so that's where we talk about how much you should eat. But then when we're looking at the visceral fats, this is surrounding your organs is linked to metabolic disease and inflammation driven, and so that's causing the imbalance. And so that's where we need to look at the visual fat first, and then once you can adjust that, all the other fat will be easier to lose. And so stubborn fat happens when again, we're just talking about all those things that happen, but also including your muscle mass. So when you have higher cortisol, not only does it make it harder to lose fat, the cortisol and unaddressed stress in your life also causes weakness in your muscle. So it's harder, even if you're working out, it's harder for you to gain muscle mass. So you might feel also frustrated in the gym and lifting weight and go, how come I'm not building the muscle? I'm putting all the work, but I'm not seeing the result I want to see, right? And that's what's going on. It's really one of the big thing is addressing the cortisol. So the weight loss plateau, it occurs because the metabolism is slower. And so again, we talk about multiple things that affects your metabolism. So when it's slow, your body cannot take in as much calorie because it's not burning as fast. That's all. And then your hormones shift to conserve energy. Your body thinks in the inflammation and high cortisol state, your body thinks you are in trouble. You need to survive. You need to like run and escape. You're in danger. So you need energy to help you run, right? So that's where your body's getting those confusing signal. This is the body's natural protective mechanism. So it's not your body's something wrong. It's actually behaving like it needs to, it was programmed back in the old age, like the dark ages when, hunter and gather and you're running and, people, animals chasing you and so forth. So it was just programmed already. We're programmed to your body protect you in different way. And so we need to reset your metabolism. And so eating less is not the solution. Eating less actually contribute to slower metabolism. It keeps your cortisol high. And so that's why people are confused. And they come to me and they're starving because they're restricting their diet thinking that will reset it. And so we need to, okay, how do we address the blood sugar control, right? Balance. And how do we reduce stress? And how do we sleep better? We need to also address the gut health. How do we improve the digestive health? Because they all connected. And then which type of movement, how movement and when using building muscle movement will help with that as well. And what should we be eating that's going to help with that? So these are the important pillars to help you restore efficiently. So to stabilize your blood sugar, to maintain, because we want to maintain steady energy distribute throughout the day, not just a burst of energy. And when we have a more steady delivery disperse of blood sugar, then your body don't store sugar into fat, so reduce fat storage. And then when we also improve your blood sugar sustain in the long term, then you have less craving as well. So helpful tips or really is protein, fiber, and complex carbohydrates, and really eliminating or avoiding refined carbohydrates, which is really hard because especially when you're all on the go, you're gonna find that um, often in a lot of foods that have more refined and processed food than home prepared. So the chronic stress with is related to cortisol. So that's something that we need to, want to just dive deep in there to show you how we can address that. So one thing is sleep. Sleep is a really one of the key factors to help lower your cortisol. That is, even prior to sleep, I recommend and not only aiming for 7 to 9 hours per night, but really it's important to go to bed between the sweet spot anytime between 10 p.m. to midnight, in between that time. And you want to give yourself an hour before bedtime to unwind, to relax, to do meditation, to do breath work, to drink some nice herbal teas, read some books, read something that is really positive, praying, prayers and things like that too. So things that are relaxing your mind before you going into thinking of something positive as well. And so that way you could have a deeper sleep, quality sleep. And when so when people don't have quality sleep, you increase the hormone ghrelin. It's ghrelin increase. Ghrelin is there to signal when you're hungry. But when it's inflamed, you don't get enough sleep. Ghrelin takes over. So whatever you eat, you don't feel satisfied. You feel hungry after dinner. 2 hours later, you're like, I really need to eat another meal, not even just a snack. I'm hungry. And so then your blood sugar spikes up again. And so then when your blood sugar spikes up and you're not utilizing, of course, you probably at nighttime, you're not exercising, you're not utilizing the muscle. So the sugar that you're eating from the food turn to fat. So that's why, it's important to address to stop these cycles and the timing of it. And then with the muscle is it also helps with metabolism. When muscle is being built in its active form, it helps you to burn the, calories, the store fat that's in your body, and also improve when you have more muscle mass, it improve insulin sensitivity. So strength training helps with weight as well. A lot of people focus so much on cardio and not enough on strength training. But the best time to do it and when the muscle actually has a timing too. So it's very active in the morning and afternoon and less active at night. So when you are doing it in the morning or afternoon, you are keeping that metabolism, that burning longer, sustaining longer for you. But if you work out at night, you're feeding into the inflammation, you're feeding into cortisol, you're affecting the sleep schedule as well. And it doesn't do as much for you as other times. And then when you're exercising at night, you tend to eat more, and eating more at nighttime also, it's going to feed into this inflammation cycle. And then your gut health and hormones. It, your microbiome influences your inflammation, your estrogen metabolism, your nutrient absorption, and insulin sensitivity. So they send out communications to all the other part of your body, other organs, and communicate with other hormones. So it's really important to maintain and improve your gut health environment. So the things we talked about before, if you're eating too late, you're not getting enough sleep properly too, that will also affect your digest system. And then also then what you eat. If you eat too much sugary food and there's ghrelin, you're eating too often and craving, or eating too late, that also affects your digest system. And so your healthy metabolism depends on multiple systems working together. Again, so we already addressed the blood sugar. The other thing that's really important is your mitochondria energy production. How the mitochondria dictates how your cell is transporting energy into the different tissues. So that's really important to think about how healthy is your mitochondria. And so your lifestyle habits such as nutrition, physical activity, stress management, and sleep are very crucial to maintaining the mitochondria health. It's like the brain of your cell. And certain nutrients dictate that. So what are the main thing is sleep and nutrients really helps with addressing mitochondria. And why many people, why many popular diet trends, the trends does not work. It's because many people try to lose weight through strategy as strict calorie, right? They think that if I'm not eating as much calorie, I will be able to burn or utilize the stored fat, and it doesn't work like that. Extreme food restriction, excessive cardio and intermittent fasting done incorrectly. When we say extreme food restriction, some people say, I don't want to eat any meat. I'm going to just eat vegetables and I'm just going to be a vegan. But if they're not done properly and they don't know what they're doing, they are missing so many other nutrients and amino acid that's from the meat and other protein source. And then, or if they go in a carnivore and just only eating meat and not eating any fibers, fruit, vegetables, the meeting missing a lot of fibers and phytonutrients, antioxidants. So that's why what the extreme trends are going in. And the intermittent fasting, when you're fasting in the wrong window period, it's not like how long, the wrong time, the window to when you eat and when you stop eating, that also affects your metabolism and increase cortisol and inflammation. So these approach often produce short-term loss, but long term become an issue, and people, whatever they lose, they gain it back and sometimes gain it more. And I've saw studies, I've start seeing that with fat cells. They have a memory. When you keep losing and gaining, losing and gaining, they start to be more resistant to some of the changes because they remember what it's like to feel like starving. So they're like fighting back even harder in a way. So the yo-yo diet and restriction causes making you having have to work harder to lose the weight. Okay, so weight management is not math. So calorie, I wanted to dive in that a little bit. As you see here, a calorie, 100 calorie, for example, a carrot is different than a donut in the nutritional value, and one doesn't spike your insulin, and one has no fiber, and one has other, like beta carotene, vitamin A for your immune system, right? So it's very different, and we need to look at the nutritional value instead of just counting calorie, because when you're just doing that, you're missing the whole science of what your body needs and how your body works. And then you just continue to feed into this problem here. Okay, so and also severe dieting. When a lot of people, when they say I have thyroid issue, people have thyroid issue, I'm gonna ask the history of, what's your stress level? How are you sleeping or not sleeping? Some people say I've been working in a night job, third shift, or I just been a night owl. I like enjoy, playing games or hang out with people online at night and I just sleep during the day, or things like that. Or people just really stress out in general that affects their thyroid and cortisol because of the adrenal cortisol axis connects. And then, there and then also losing muscle because of the calorie restrictions. And so this is probably one of the biggest challenges I've seen in all ages. Young, people in their even in their teens and 20s. I've seen people who only eat like once a day, to eating just only protein bars, or just a protein shake and call it a meal throughout the day, or people older. Intermittent fasting, helpful or harmful? Intermittent fasting can benefit metabolic health when used strategically. Again, timing is really important. Uh, Nutrients, intake is inadequate a lot of times with intermittent fasting because they limit yourself in a window period to eat. That means, you not going to get a lot of different variety of nutrients. If you only eat once a day or twice a day, you can't really eat that much. And so a lot of people choose during intermittent fasting to eat only vegetables or only eat meat. And then they're dehydrated as well. And so they're malnourished on that time, right? So that's why intermittent fasting, they might feel better just briefly, and then they gain all the weight back. A better approach is, instead of focusing on only on calories, um, we want to make sure you're getting nutrients that are supporting blood sugar, mitochondrial function, and preserve your muscle for long-term success. And it's all about reducing the inflammation. So nutrition is where it can help. So a lot of the main focus, when I want to address how people losing weight, is really in the kitchen and not in the gym. Lifestyle habits are foundational. So you want to maintain energy metabolism. You want fat, support your fat oxidation, reduce oxidative stress, meaning you don't want your cells to mutate and increase losing the oxygen bond and causing instability in your cells, through all the things we just talked about. And so that's it. When we do that, we support healthy aging and longevity. And so, alongside healthy habits, supplement has to be a very important key factor. So it's not about which is more important, but it's about the collaboration. Certain supplements are really important, especially when you are having all these issues about blood sugar, metabolism, cortisol, sleep, all these different issues that you're experiencing. Because when people have metabolic issue, we're also talking about high blood pressure and diabetes or pre-diabetic. And then these, when they're not addressed, can also lead to other chronic health issue like cancer. So this is why it's important to really pay attention to some of these tools that are not being emphasized, because people deem, supplementation, it's just a gimmick. It's just something to that cannot be replaced for food. And learning about the science of food and supplementation, quality food and quality supplementation is the best marriage for us to help address these issues here. And some of the things that we are lacking majority of the time, and that's causing these issue, is metabolism. B complex. A lot of time people have the problem taking certain Bs like B6 or just B12. B12 is like a popular B vitamins, and they're missing all the whole family of the Bs, which is really important to transport energy for calming your nervous system, supporting it, your eyesight, your nerve health, to prevent a nerve damage and things like that, sensitivity. And then for anxiety and depression too, for mood. So magnesium and B vitamin plays in so many of these, especially addressing cortisol and metabolism. Omega-3 fatty acids, also very important to support cardiovascular health and cellular regeneration and detox and cell communication. Antioxidants are really important to protect your cells from oxidative stress. So antioxidant food, we need to eat more of that. So I don't see people eating enough. Like, I feel like there's only 5% of the people eat enough antioxidant. 95% of you are in danger, because with antioxidant burn short is a very short live and life span. It burns out very quickly. So you have to eat a lot of antioxidant food and a variety of different antioxidant food to protect your cells. And then not only people are not eating enough antioxidant food, they're not taking enough antioxidant supplements. You need to do both, because it's hard to maintain antioxidant food. Antioxidant food, like for example, organic wild berries, for blueberries, for example, are very expensive. So people are eating it not even barely once a week, and to buy it to get a good, not berries that are loaded with pesticides, and then be able to do that. If you eat it every day, it's going to cost you so much money. And so people are stressed with the money. So For me, investing in really great supplementation and antioxidant save your money, but also get helps reduce the financial stress, but also supports your health in a very strategic way. And then amino acids. People are not getting enough variety of different amino acids to support muscle gain, to help make sure so that, and then also preventing muscle loss, but also like for your brain. So a lot of people forget your brain is a muscle. So a lot of people are tired because your brains are not getting the amino acid to need to repair as well. Your tissues and hormone maintenance is really important for amino acids, especially if people have injuries. You're not getting enough sleep, you have mood issue, you're stressed out. Your amino acids are there to help support repair and restorations. And then a lot of people are not emphasizing enough, a lot of health professionals on mitochondrial health. And because if they are, they will address this first before they give you medication. Because both a lot of the different stress factor inflammation marker that we discuss impacts your mitochondrial health. So is medication. When you're taking on different types of medication that are given to you, it will also stress out, weaken your mitochondrial health. So mitochondria, again, it's something that cannot be overlooked because it actually dictates stem cell production. So not only how well healthy your cell is and be able to transfer energy, but how can your cell divide healthy cells? And that is why we need to talk about mitochondria health. It's the master energy production, regulates cellular metabolism, and govern epigenetic programming. We want to program healthier cells. We don't want you to divide and produce unhealthy cells. So it's up to you how you want to signal that, and depending on how the health of your mitochondria. And if you have experience with less significant stress or trauma, it goes deep down cellularly, and stress and trauma itself will weaken and your mitochondrial health and prevent it from functioning properly. And so, re- repairing your mitochondrial health is very important focus. It's like a pre-fat loss phase to addressing the weight loss is addressing this first. So some of this three combination is something I will recommend if if you are experiencing that significant, a lot of significant fat gain, as well as feeling tired all the time, feeling like if I'm eating healthy, I'm working out, I'm sleeping, and I'm still not losing weight. This is where I want you to think about. The Prime NAD Plus is the precursor to stem cell production. And when you are very inflamed, usually I recommend people, when they're in their like late 30s and 40s, start taking the precursor stem cell supplementation, because your body losing a lot of stem cell just from aging. Because when we're younger, when we abuse our body eating junk food or not getting sleep, when you're in your like childhood and teenager stage, your body is still producing stem cells, so you still feel the energy, and that's why you feel like when I was younger, I can stay up, and next day I'm not feeling that tired. But as you get older, just in general, just eating healthy in general, what not having stress, not the intense stress like people do, your body already producing less stem cell just from aging. So but with unhealthy lifestyle and stress and combined, or environmental stress, your body lose stem cells even faster than in general aging. So that's why supplementing Prime NAD Plus is very important. And then I've looked at the different NAD Plus in the market. Very few is derived from a precursor, the NRC, which is the nicotinamide riboside chloride, because with the active ingredient of the NAD plus in itself, it's very hard to be absorbed. The bioavailability in the science shows weak, is very weak, and that's why you need to precursor like this one here in Prime NAD plus. And then with the isotonic resveratrol is also very different than a lot of different resveratrol out there. These four different patent ingredients in the resveratrol, again, makes it more active and bioavailable. So you want to see the results, and combined with resveratrol itself support your body also to produce healthy stem cells. But what the key ingredient with the resveratrol that's different is that it actually helps with fat burning, fat loss, and maintaining blood sugar. So I recommend anyone who is concerned about blood sugar and want to keep it under control. And a lot of time when you gain a lot of weight, your blood sugar is already usually a little bit more resistant and higher. It's more sensitive, and gain you will store fat easier. So resveratrol is something I would add to it. And then of course the advanced CoQ10, nothing can replace coenzyme Q10. That is important to, it's a key ingredient to repair your heart muscles, for example, but it's also the key ingredient to repair your mitochondria and to help transport those energy from cell to cell to tissues more effectively. So taking this together, even in 30 days, you see a significant repair. And so I would recommend doing this first before doing all the other things, other supplementation that addressing like fat loss. And then the other thing is getting more fiber throughout the day. So if you're not eating 6 to 9 servings of vegetables a day, you might having a hard time. You might be needing to repair your stomach, your digestive health because of a long-term, unhealthy lifestyle. You might have IBS or acid reflux, or diarrhea or constipation frequently because of long-term just not addressing these issues. You could also be taking antibiotics, have from either from a food poisoning or antibiotics from other health elements that also interrupts the balance of your microbiome, and then causing this issue that might not be addressed for a while. So the advanced fiber powder here has microbiome, as well as 2 different fiber that helps to dissolve and to just, I recommend hot water with some lemon. It tastes great when you do that together, and you drink it like after you eat to help break down the food and slow down the blood sugar um, spiking too fast. So that's what, after, especially like breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you drink like, about 6 to 8 ounce water and 1 scoop powder mix in it, and just drink it afterward. And then polyphenols and antioxidants. So these are things that will help repair your cells, improve cell health and circulations. And so they are found like one of our superior product, isotonic OPC3. And again, isotonics, if you don't understand what the capability and how it stands out compared to all the other supplements on the market, is that isotonic is really second to IV therapy solutions in its delivery. So it actually mimics your body, the same pH as your body fluid, and you absorb it really quick within 5 to 10 minutes per servings. And with OPC3, you get the wild bilberries, grapeseed skin, and grapeseed extracts. You have the citrus extracts in there. Pine bark is one of the superior French maritime pine bark that's grind into this really fine powder. You mix with water and you drink it in empty stomach. It delivers right in there. And a lot of people feel more energy. They feel less pain if you're feeling pain, because that's how quickly the cells are being repaired. There's a lot of significance in respiratory health, and just an overall just cellular repair. And then adding the complete green, it's also an isotonic. You can also mix together, especially if you're not eating 6 to 9 servings of vegetable. The little scoop in there, 2 scoop of that mixed with 6 ounce water, give you to give you about 9 servings of these super greens like chlorella, spirulina, spinach, broccoli, um, and why it's really important in wheatgrass, and especially with the chlorella. So what they do is improving liver health and kidney health, and helping your body reducing a lot of heavy metals that might be found in your rice or vegetables and so forth. So really, it's like a nice gentle detoxification as well in terms of improving your organ health. And then amino acids and protein support your so the amino acid in itself not only helps your muscle maintenance and metabolism, right? It helps to control your appetite as well and also help with recovery after exercise, especially with the Tower Plus Pure Protein Isolate with creatine. The creatine itself help your body utilize the protein better, pushing into your muscles. Especially people will notice in your brain as well. A lot of people don't talk about your brain. You will have better energy because the nutrients, amino acids are transported into your brain more significantly, efficiently as well. And we don't get enough of that in our food. So with here, one scoop, 30 grams of protein give you the sustainable amino acids, and it's really great for pre or after workout, or just even during a day when you're feeling a little sluggish and you feel like you're not getting enough from your food. You just take a scoop and it blends so well. It doesn't, you don't need a blender. You just put it in the shaker, about 6 to 8 ounce water. You shake it up and or you stir it, and it tastes really smooth. And the other one is the Go Trim Slim. Go Trim Slim has it's a patent ingredient with three major powerful herbs or moringa leaves, curry leaves, and turmeric leaves, and they actually helps with maintaining lean muscle mass and decrease inflammation significantly as well. And so that is these two combination together will speed up your result from lifting weight and working out, even walking, just doing even doing like gentle. You don't have to work really lift heavy to have that lean muscle mass with this combination. And then the other thing that I like to start off when I'm working with someone to address their weight loss is starting with a detoxification, either the 7 day for cleanse. This is called the NutriClean 7 day detoxification system, and it's including your cleaning your colon and liver, and it's really important to um, it's like giving your body an oil change, right? So you want to get rid of a lot of different store toxin. It could be from pesticides, environmental toxins like that, or plastics, things that people worry about, or just things from processed foods or from stress related. So stress related built up, and also your fat cell stores a lot of different toxins. So be able to give your organ a jump start to be able to move them out of the way so that you have better response and a quicker response. And it's a great way to reset, to start resetting your hormone, because helping your liver, it's really important to address the different hormone for like women's health, for regulating metabolism, your fat loss related. All also it's in your liver as well. Your liver also have different enzymes to help with getting rid of mutation cell that's responsible for cancer. So all this also helps your body lower the risk of um, having cancer as well. So I do recommend, now even when you're not just addressing fat loss, to do this 2 to 3 times a year. And so the area that we need to focus on to detox and lower your inflammation is your liver, to also addressing your digestive health, to increase diverse microbiomes, to address your lymphatic system, in your circulatory system, so that we can move out the toxin and the waste out better, and to also decrease the toxins in your brain so you can think better and you can feel better also. So jumpstart your health journey by focusing on the detoxification to give your body that oil change, right? That like what we do to take care of your car. And longevity definitely go hand in hand with metabolic health, because when we address all these things that we talked about, that to help with improving your health, you will live longer. Not only live longer, but you'll be vibrant. You can still be very active. You can travel and go hiking and gardening. I've seen this lady near me. She's 88. Her brain is sharp. She's gardening, she's driving, she's living by herself, and I can't say that for a lot of people living around that age. A lot of time they need so much more support, someone coming in to help them, right? So there's so much to look forward to when you can, address these lifestyle issues. So the takeaway is, how to balance, your nutrition and consistently move. And so movement is not just gym, but think about movement throughout your whole day. Every 90 minutes, you should be moving, doing something, getting up, squatting, picking up something, lifting up, bending, stretching, and then quality of sleep. So, and then also the other thing we didn't talk about really quick is nap. I'm a big favorite component of napping in the afternoon around 2 or 3 p.m for 20 minutes to 30 minutes is really helpful for your body to sort of reset your hormone and just lower your inflammation, improving blood health as well. Stress management is another one that these are all ongoing things that we need to do. Um, and then just specific targeted nutritional support through supplementation. So these are the goals to helping you restore your metabolic health, um, rather than just forcing weight loss. And forcing weight loss a lot of time is people going through surgeries, taking medications to force that. And then there's other health issue that comes with it. So, if you want to join this journey with a lot of us in the community to live longer and stronger, get your blueprint for effortless fat loss, metabolic health, and longevity. Um, my online course, the 30-day hormone reset and longevity course, and become an Art of Wellness longevity member. And here is the QR code for you to, take a picture, scan it, so you can take a look at the information to see how I can deep dive and hold your hands. The more you learn, the more you understand. And with a community together, we hold each other accountable to uh, to keep us in check, right? Because there's a lot of work to even with knowing and understanding. The work becomes actually more fun. The work, everything is work. Do you want to work towards something that's not going to give you the benefit to live longer, to feel healthier, or work towards something that is going to give you so much more than just losing weight, just so much more just to look forward to in life. And then why work with a health professional that specializes in, nutrition and nutraceutical formulations, right? Why, and then why choose this nutritional line, Nutrimetrics and isotonic line? Because the quality is really important. You don't want to just guess what is in there. Does it have what does it have what it said it have? Or does it do what it say it does, right? You don't want to just look at something because it's convenient or just look at the price. I do the guesswork or take the guesswork out of you by looking for quality standard products that are GMP in the GMP operation. That stands for General Manufacturer Practice. And we check for heavy metals, microbiological contamination, allergens. So you cannot source people who just say I make this at home, or different lab that they actually take time to make sure they're testing the ingredient from sourcing from growing from the farm to and then sending to the laboratory to then producing, extracting. Every step of the way is being checked and third party checked as well. It's gluten free. And also, we want to make sure that there's no GMOs in the product because that's really also harder and harder to source non-GMO ingredients and herbs and nutrients. And then vegan, we want to make sure that the products are also made without derived from animal. And it's also manufactured in the FDA registered good manufacturer practices, and third party testing again is very important. So, and then combining with working with a health professional with a long standing of clinical experiences, working with real people with real experiences and progress is very important. And also, I'm someone who's continued to learn and staying on top of the latest science and research to bring to my clients and customers so that way they are always informed. So thank you again for being here. And if you want to learn more about Art of Wellness services, schedule a free consultation. You can scan this QR code to find out more. And then you can also email me at info@artofwellnesscenter.com or visit artofwellnesscenter.com.